What do I think of people eating the vegan diet? Well, I think that it's their choice, for one. I think a lot of people do it for ethical reasons and not so much for health. But there are a large group of people who do it just for the health and not for the ethical. So it's kind of like a mix there. Some people do it for both. Um, I think that a lot of people are very convinced in their mind that what they're doing is the best for them. Otherwise, I don't think people would just adopt a pure vegan diet and eat like that. I think that there's a lot of benefits to eating a vegan diet. Namely, you've cut out a lot of processed junk food. Now, that's assuming that you're eating a whole foods vegan diet, because vegan can be very um, misleading because you could eat potato chips and drink Pepsi and call yourself a vegan. So just because you call yourself a vegan doesn't mean that you're a healthy person or you have a healthy diet. You could be a junk food vegan. So it's important that you specify what kind of vegan you are. Now, like I said, if you were eating a really terrible junk food diet and then you suddenly switch and eat a whole foods vegan diet, you're definitely going to see a lot of health improvements over time because you've eliminated a lot of bad food from your diet and your body will function better on higher quality, more nutritious food for sure. The question is it sustainable and are you going to feel fantastic, 5 or 10 years down the road? How are you going to feel over the long term? And is that sustainable for a lifetime? There's people that have claimed to have eaten a vegan diet for most of their life. There's other people that have tried raising kids on a vegan diet and those kids died. So it's a different situation for everybody. So I'm careful not to just criticize and condemn and pick on because I can't if I want to be logical because like I say, every person is different and every situation is different and I'm not there looking to see exactly what they're eating day in and day out, day in and day out, day in and day out. So there's no way that I could possibly know if the person who says they're vegan is actually eating a healthy, whole food vegan diet. So I think that's one thing that a lot of people fail to say when they're criticizing vegans or making anti-vegan videos is they don't differentiate between healthy and non-healthy. They also don't have the full facts. They don't have all the evidence. So they're just making a lot of assumptions and they're targeting individuals. It's just a generalization that I don't think is grounded in any actual facts or evidence. And so if you want to be more respected and you want to be more fair and be more kind, then you ought to be honest and say, I don't know if this person is eating a healthy diet because I don't know them and I don't know what they're eating every day. And I'm not just going to, make a video and say, yeah, this person's unhealthy, a bunch of these people are unhealthy, because I don't know, you see. And you also have to think about it if, you know, somebody was doing that to you. How would you feel if somebody was just making a video and saying, yeah, this person was eating paleo and they're so unhealthy because they're doing this, 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 and this? Well, how do you know that they're doing this, 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 and this? Just because a diet says whatever, doesn't mean that you know that the person is actually following what the diet says. So that's why I am careful these days, when criticizing or making any kind of judgment on literally anyone, the best thing to do is, if you really want to know about somebody and what they eat and if they're healthy, is just simply to ask them, what do you eat? Now, it doesn't mean that, you know, what they're telling you is 100% truthful or honest, but you kind of give the person the benefit of the doubt, and because you don't have any reason not to believe them either. So, my point is that I see a lot of people condemning vegans. Now, I used to eat a vegetarian slash vegan diet, and I also dabbled in with fruitarianism for a little bit. I wasn't 100% hardcore like some people. I think one year I maybe ate meat like once or twice that year. So I was pretty strict, and I also weighed the least that I've ever weighed, which was like 135. And I certainly had health benefits, but I certainly had other problems too, that I could talk about in another video. But these days, I think a vegan diet, generally for most people that are coming from a standard American diet or a junk food diet, will probably be healthy for them in the short term. It's harder to say over the long term because it really depends on the person's health. It depends on if they're taking supplements. It depends on if they're getting blood work and they're getting checked up on, make sure everything's okay. But I think generally, if you just eat a healthy, whole foods, plant-based diet, you should be all right for a while. I think, at least in my case, is if you become convinced of something and you start doing it and you start feeling off and you don't feel like you're really feeling well, a lot of times you'll just stick to it because you're convinced of it, even if it's actually not good for you. That's becoming a slave to a diet or slave to a particular belief system, and you literally follow it even if you're feeling bad and negative. And then you have these other beliefs that are like reinforcements that keep you on that path. Like, for example, if they say, well, it's just detox. Okay, so it's just detox that I'm feeling this bad, so I'm just going to stay on it. Well, what if it's not detox? What if it's something else? Sometimes people don't think about that. Like, what if it's not just detox? What if it's actually a nutritional deficiency? Or what if your hormones are out of whack? So there's all these different things to think about. And, I think a lot of times people actually could harm themselves because they're so committed to the diet. They're so committed to the lifestyle, that they could actually indirectly hurt themselves. And that happens a lot. And it's not just something that can happen if you eat a plant-based vegan diet. It could happen if you were eating a paleo diet. It could happen on literally any diet, standard American, whatever. It could literally happen to anything. And so sometimes the best thing is that I've learned is listen to your own body. How do you feel in your own body? If you don't feel really good, then change something and work towards you feeling better, while at the same time having the knowledge to know the long-term possible risks, and then do what you can, like be strategic and do what you can to make sure that you cover all your bases so that you're protected and you're safe and you're going to be healthy. So if you want to be like hardcore and going on a vegan diet, then at least, go to your doctor once in a while and get some blood tests done to make sure all your levels are fine, so that way you don't have to worry about having long-term risks or damage. See, a lot of people don't do that. They don't take that piece of advice. They just believe, oh yeah, I'll be fine. And then, well, the years go on and the damage is done. And then they regret it, and then they go all the way over to the other extreme. No, you have to be sensible and you have to be smart about this because it's something that you're going to do for the rest of your life. So you really have to give it a lot of thought and you have to have a good game plan. You never should go into something without having a good game plan. And I wish I had known a lot of this stuff before I ever tried, eating a vegetarian or vegan diet. But sometimes we learn by our own experience too. Um, so I think that there's benefits to eating a vegan diet, but I also think that there's things that could possibly be bad about it. Um, and the same is true for any other diet. I guess I'm a big believer in just good principles. So that's like just eat real whole foods mostly. Eat a lot of plants, homegrown. Um, Take some good quality high supplements if you can. And don't stress out about this stuff. And don't try to become Superman. And don't become dogmatic. And don't become one of them people that go around trying to tell other people what to eat. Just, focus and try to improve your own health first. Be an example for others if you want to influence them or try to convert them, I suppose. But really, just tell and teach people the good, healthy principles, and that's trying to eat more whole foods. Less unprocessed, the better. And I think that's probably the best thing you could do and the smartest thing you could do. So I could say that one observation I have noticed with a lot of these longer term, like raw foodists and vegans and stuff, is I've noticed that they, at least from my observation, and again, I could be totally wrong, but it seems to me that a lot of them seem like they have aged as, at least in the skin, like their skin looks older and more aged. Um, and that could possibly be due to a high fruit. It could possibly be due to them at such a low body weight or, less fat. People that generally have more fat on them will generally, and I'm not saying all the time, but generally may look younger. You'll have less wrinkles, their skin will be more plump. That doesn't necessarily mean that they're more healthy. It just means that they could generally look younger because of that. And if you lose a lot of weight really quick, that could also perhaps cause you to look older than what you really are. That's why it's important to ease in to something new, and make sure that you're getting all of the nutrition that you need to support a healthy body. But maybe it's just the fact that a lot of those folks are just out in the sun a lot, so it's aging their skin. They could just be under extreme amounts of stress because they're trying to follow their diet, like a slave. There's a lot of different things, and I don't know. I'm just speculating. But I think that those things that I'm speculating about are possible explanations. It could also be nutritional deficiency. But, there's scientists that say we need animal fat, cholesterol, that it's good for us and for our hormones. And then there's the vegan doctors will say and try to make their case. So obviously they're not both true, but there could be truth to both of them. So that's why I think taking like a balanced approach is probably best. But anyways, I'm done talking. I just wanted to give more my thoughts on the vegan diet and what I think about it and how I've kind of changed my thinking over the years on it. So hope you guys enjoyed this. Please, if you like the video, please don't forget to smash that like, guys. We got to get some more likes or dislikes. I don't care, guys. If you dislike it, that's great for my channel. It's great for my videos because it means that you guys are actually engaged, and that's awesome. So whether it's likes, dislikes, you name it, guys, just be more active so I can just keep pumping out more videos. Make sure that you subscribe. And with that, guys, have a wonderful, wonderful day.